From the Alvin and Rosalie Sarachek studio, PBS Kansas presents Positively Kansas.
It's time for Positively Kansas. Coming up, Wichita mastered propellers and jets. Now a completely new kind of aviation is on the horizon. And the air capital has a front row seat. Then from wings to wheels, roller derby is back. Meet the Kansas women lacing up their skates for fast-paced action and fierce competition. Plus, learn about a creature that's stuck in the pre-flight stage. Mike Blair shows us a fascinating metamorphosis hidden in plain sight. I'm Sierra Scott. A half-hour information and inspiration starts right now on Positively Kansas. Wichita earned the title of Air Capital of the World by leading every major leap in aviation, from propeller planes to business jets. Now a brand new kind of aircraft is being tested for commercial use, and Wichita has a front row seat. Chris Frank has the story on what may be the biggest shift in aviation since the jet age.
Self-driving cars may be getting all the buzz. But another transportation revolution is already in motion in the sky. Electric AAM aircraft, which stands for Advanced Air Mobility, promise to lift you over traffic jams in minutes. They're called eVTOLs, Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing Aircraft. Now you'll hear the eVTOL acronym throughout this story. Quiet, efficient, zero emissions at the point of flight. And this aircraft could become the first new category certified by the FAA since the helicopter.
We're kind of in a new era. So just like the jet age came from the 50s into today, there's another breed of aviation growing. And the first new type of aircraft that's been certified since the helicopter is something called a powered lift aircraft. We're certifying these right now with the FAA. These are all electric aircraft that can take off and land vertically, can fly really quietly through the air with very high degrees of reliability and safety.
Joby Aviation brought a flight simulator in a semi-truck trailer to Wichita to demonstrate their eVTOL aircraft. Users got a chance to fly the simulator.
See Lady Liberty out there?
Yes.
I want you to fly straight to her. All right, now I want you to push forward on that right stick. There you go, that's it. You're flying it.
The Joby Aviation spokesman says electric propulsion multiplies redundancy with more motors, more power paths, fewer moving parts.
So you can have redundancy in batteries, right? You can put multiple batteries with different powertrain architectures in there to give you that reliability and redundancy. You can have motors that are very highly reliable but have very few moving parts, a lot of solid state motors. And with that kind of powertrain and the simplicity of it, you can really start to see high reliability numbers.
Instead of one big engine, like on this single engine biplane, Joby uses 6 propellers, each powered by independent electric systems.
Each of those propellers is being turned by a redundant motor, so dual windings in that motor going to independent battery feeds and independent motor controllers. That's really hard to do in mechanical sense. You can imagine 12 mechanical motors on this airplane would be really difficult to employ, but something that can happen pretty easily with electrical systems.
And the pilot doesn't fly each motor, the computer handles that.
The pilot's saying what direction do I want to go and how fast. So a pilot's still doing traditional aviation flying of the aircraft, but not having to run through these systems. Fly-by-wire will decide based on reliability and based on the state of travel for various controls what thing will happen next.
Now, the size of electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, or eVTOLs, varies widely. Some are small, single-piloted craft designed for short hops or just a few miles. Others are much larger, built to carry cargo. For example, Mighty Fly is the maker and operator of autonomous fixed-wing hybrid eVTOL aircraft. Mighty Fly's Cento model is in advanced testing, flying 100 pounds of cargo up to 600 miles at 150 miles per hour. Other makers are developing passenger-carrying eVTOLs. For many, the concept calls to mind the Jetsons. George Jetson zipping around in his personal flying pod, dropping off family members at school, work, or shopping. Ideas like that aren't new. Since the earliest days of aviation, inventors have imagined personal flying machines. But for decades, most attempts, often little more than homemade contraptions, never got off the ground. But here, a century later, technology has finally caught up to the dream. Batteries are lighter and more powerful. Electric motors are efficient and reliable. And the result is an entirely new category of flight: advanced air mobility, moving from science fiction to reality.
It's close. It's definitely in the foreseeable future.
And Wichita, the air capital of the world, is playing a key role in getting these new aircraft off the ground. Inside NIAR's Advanced Technologies Lab for Aerospace Systems, Atlas, engineers do something remarkable. Take a digital aircraft model and turn it into real parts ready for FAA testing.
And what we do here is to promote advanced material and processes for ultra-high rate manufacturing.
Waruna Sinivaratne is director of NIAR Atlas. His team is working on ways to manufacture the new electric aircraft at high production rates.
This is probably 2 hours of machining. This is only 90 seconds. So that's a pretty high rate. And we are focusing on high rate because most of these electrical vertical takeoff and landing or eVTOL aircraft, eventually all of these companies wants to build them 3,000 to 5,000 of them a year, and there's no way we can make them that rate with the way we are building these aircrafts today.
Traditionally, airplanes are crafted from aluminum, slowly, with thousands of rivets holding parts in place. eVTOLs are built with lighter composite materials. The challenge for the eVTOL makers is to build them quickly and economically to make them pay off. NIAR engineers are working to help find those solutions.
We help these companies through all phases of their development cycle, so from early conceptual phases to doing detailed design of the structure and the systems. Waruna's lab is doing all the manufacturing and materials technology that they need to get to those ultra-high production rates so that they can put out thousands of these at a cost point that makes sense.
Even paint becomes optional. The color can be baked into the part during manufacturing.
So this is again another automotive technology that we are bringing in to demonstrate high rate manufacturing.
Joby Aviation is one of NIAR's partners.
So one of our industry partners, Joby, they came and challenged us.
One eVTOL aircraft requires numerous propeller blades. NIAR is figuring out how to build them fast.
Another challenging thing for these eVTOL aircraft is going to be the blade manufacturing, right? Think about if you look at the Joby, it has 30-some blades. And if you make 3,000 airplanes a year, it has to be 3,000 multiplied by 30 something, right? So now you're talking about hundreds of thousands of blades a year per company.
The only way the eVTOL makers can build thousands of aircraft a year is by using robotics and automation. WSU's NIAR has expertise in both.
With this high rate manufacturing, these eVTOL companies trying to reduce as much touch labor as possible to increase the laydown, right? So we are bringing a lot of automation for manufacturing, inspections, and quality control.
Before passengers ever board, every aircraft design must be tested, proven, and certified.
Yeah, so there's only 3 of these type of facilities in the United States.
NIAR has a new restrained flight test rig allowing testing the aircraft at full power. The vehicle won't take off, it won't crash, That's because it will be tethered.
They can restrain their vehicle within the in-ground effect test rig first, do systems testing in a controlled manner so they can understand failure conditions.
The FAA will issue guidelines on the aircraft's use of vertiports on tall buildings based on research done at NIAR.
Some of the key aspects that the FAA is interested in right now is the outwash from these vehicles. And so if they land on top of a building, what does it do?
Companies like Joby Aviation and Archer Aviation aren't just building new aircraft, they're building new mobility services. These are air taxis, pilot-carrying electric vertical takeoff craft designed for short urban hops to save passengers long ground commute times. These are not your traditional aircraft flying coast to coast.
So also what's exciting is electric aviation brings costs down in the per hour flight and lets us start to offer flights at costs that are kind of comparable to Uber Black.
Uber Black, he refers to, is Uber's premium on-demand black car service, offering luxury vehicles with professional, commercially licensed drivers. It is distinct from standard Uber services. The predicted uses for these revolutionary aircraft go beyond air taxis.
One of the neat things about advanced air mobility is that it's not just limited to air taxis as a lot of people see it.
There's a lot of other areas we can use these technologies, emergencies, medical emergencies, medevac, the military for forward deployment.
The opportunities for the use case for these type of vehicles is pretty endless.
There was hope for a greater Wichita role in battery-powered aircraft beyond NIAR's lab research. In 2022, Textron created a new electric aviation business segment. That after acquiring the Slovenia company Pipistrel with its first ever certified battery-powered airplane. Textron announced plans to test their Nexus eVTOL at Salina Regional Airport after first testing the vehicle at NIAR's Restrained Flight Test Facility. This was to happen in 2025. But then Textron slowed the Nexus program and its timelines after announcing the company would end the e-aviation as a business segment and move the work into other Textron business units. Now, that doesn't mean an end to Textron's efforts into advanced air mobility, but it appears to slow its e-aviation push with the business structural realignment. Aviation didn't begin in Wichita, but Wichita became an aviation manufacturing center and could legitimately claim itself the air capital of the world.
Wichita is the air capital of the world, and if we think through the last century, Wichita proved its mettle. So aviation began here, small general aviation grew into business jets and amazing activity for the last 100 years. We're kind of in a new era. So just like the jet age came from the 50s into today, there's another breed of aviation growing.
As we've shown you, Wichita is already helping to launch aviation's next era with NIAR's research. But the question remains, what, if any, major role Wichita will have in the manufacturing of advanced air mobility? This is Chris Frank for Positively Kansas.
For Wichita, the air capital, the message is clear. Staying on top means staying ahead of the next generation of aviation technology. From wings to wheels, there's a roller derby revival in Wichita. Kansas women are lacing up their skates to compete, entertain, and just have fun on the oval track. Chris Frank has our story.
All right, it's time to introduce tonight's home team, Wicked City!
Wichita Roller Derby continues on the rise.
Team number 14, Eva Knievel.
After being sidelined by the COVID pandemic for a couple of years. As you heard the announcer say, the Wichita women's team calls itself Wicked City.
Up on the jam line, we've got Eva Knievel.
Their home games, which are also called bouts, played at the Cotillion Ballroom in West Wichita.
Dateline, 1935. Chicago, Illinois, the birthplace of the roller skate. Young entrepreneur Leo Seltzer scribbles an idea on a tablecloth, giving birth to the fast-paced sport of roller derby.
Roller derby has actually been around since the 1930s. The sport back then became a popular, entertaining distraction from the economic depression going on. Roller derby grew in the television age, becoming a full-contact sport. Those were scripted, made-for-TV events played out on oval-shaped tracks in the 1970s. Today's derbies are played out on flat tracks rather than banked oval tracks. Oval tracks have to be constructed and then taken down. Flat tracks are more practical. Decades ago, several roller derby movies were made, including Kansas City Bomber, starring Raquel Welch in 1972. But that was then. Today's roller derby isn't like that, these players say.
You know, it's not the theatrical version it once was. We can't punch each other.
He's hammered by Sandy Dog.
We can't fight. It's a legitimate, real sport. Not saying that it wasn't back then. They obviously had to be amazing athletes to do what they were doing, but it's different today.
Coach Dixon points out it's not the violent sport of the past. Players aren't allowed to kick, trip, punch, elbow, or clothesline playing opponents. Still, today's roller derby is very much a contact sport, as player coach Priscilla Brose, the Penguin, points out.
But there is no personal space in roller derby. You become best friends. You will get smacked in the face, hit in the face.
She tells the younger players bumps and bruises will occur in the course of normal play, but the overt, purposeful, gratuitous, violent actions of the past are not allowed.
Back out and skate around.
The team drills at the Skate South rink. This night includes a beginner's class. The newbies are learning the finer points of the sport and figuring out if it's something they want to go on with. They mix it up with the veterans and learn from them.
It's really fun, and I love having new friends, and I love making new friends, and our team is really a family, so it's awesome. It's a good way to work out, and I love it, really. I love the sport.
There's a wide range in the ages here. Amelia, Meals on Wheels, Holloway is only 12 years old. She's been with the team 8 weeks.
I really like skating, and my mom helped me out a lot with it, so I thought it would be fun, so I tried it out.
You've probably noticed by now, the players all have nicknames they go by. It's roller derby tradition. Coach Allison Dixon goes by Nar Jinx, a takeoff from the Star Wars character Jar Jar Binks, who was known for being clumsy and annoying.
Missy called Jar Jar Binks. Missy, your humble servant.
Well, I'm kind of tall, and when I first started, I was very clumsy and a little annoying because I'm very talkative. So, like Jar Jar Binks.
In Star Wars.
In Star Wars.
Those derby names give players a chance to take on their alternative on-track persona. They have their normal day jobs or schoolwork, and their playing names, well, they represent an edgier persona while playing roller derby. Women have taken the lead in reviving roller derby, dominating the sport to this point. There are men teams and co-ed teams, just not as many. Here, the team drills to be ready for game day.
So, this is simulating that one of these blockers has to leave, maybe for a penalty, maybe offense is being played on them, so you're losing a player. So when they lose pain, Klutz is gonna flip and fill that hole. You're just putting your butt there, that's it.
The pack is comprised of 2 teams of 5.
The drills make sense as one learns the game, and often teams demonstrate how to score and defend before a bout begins to help spectators understand the strategies.
The referee and the pointy finger.
Miranda Krause, known as Miranda Lorian, saw a roller derby bout at the Cotillion Ballroom and knew this was something she wanted to try.
I think some of it, I like the activity. It's definitely a good way to stay active. The camaraderie is really nice. Like the team is incredible. Like everyone's just like best friends and we help each other out, and I think that's awesome. And I think that like the sport is so different from any sports that I've tried out. I have very little hand-eye coordination, but like if it's just this balance, like that's kind of like nice. Like it's easier.
Ready? Down on the right.
Krause is in the beginner's class. Those newbies learn from veterans like Priscilla Brose, who goes by the Penguin out here. She's candid about how the sport helps her mentally.
I have anger issues. I needed an outlet for it, and I was either between roller derby or rugby. And at rugby, they run a lot, and I hate to run. So I've always liked to roller skate, so I thought this would be the best option. Go, 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 go!
She's been involved in roller derby since 2015.
It is a good workout. We do endurance stuff where we used to have to skate like 27 laps in 5 minutes. So we do a lot of stuff just to keep your body in shape because you're getting hit. There's a lot of short explosive movements, so we've got to make sure that we are prepared for that. Obviously taking hits, giving hits, just making sure that we watch out for ourselves and our teammates.
One of those teammates is Delaney Smith, shown here at the front of the pack and now rotating. She's a veteran, having started in 2018. Her playing name is Eva Knievel, after the famed motorcycle daredevil entertainer named Evel Knievel.
So we're working on, if you have one of your own players, a blocker goes to the penalty box, we're working on fixing the seam and having someone else filling in.
Smith has turned her love of roller derby and skating in general into a business. She owns and operates Cherry Bomb Skates in the Riverside neighborhood, catering to all skaters. She says the Wichita team played in her hometown of El Dorado when she was 18. Smith watched and was hooked.
I was obsessed with it ever since then.
Smith says women who attend a game often take the bait to join.
And then we'll add camera. Ready, go!
I think it's a lot of female support. I think a lot of women really find themselves attracted to that part of it, where it's a lot of people who are just here to see you succeed and push you to be a better player and a better person, both on and off the track as well.
Up on the jam line, we've got Eva Knievel for Wicked City.
In derby play, you may see Eva Knievel playing the pivot role, both jamming and blocking. She says some things about the sport aren't understood until you play.
I didn't realize how much of a mental sport roller derby was upon joining. It's a lot of patience. You have to be patient with yourself, and it's a lot of learning. You have to be extremely coachable. It is also extremely rewarding. Once you get something down that you've been practicing for weeks or months or a whole year and it finally clicks, that feeling of finally nailing something is just so rewarding.
Rewarding mentally, physically, and socially, but not monetarily. Money collected from paid attendance goes towards team rents and jerseys. Players aren't paid. The team hoping sponsors come forward to help support the team. In the meantime, the newbies and veterans work to increase their skills, to entertain fans, and win on the tracks. This is Chris Frank for Positively Kansas.
The Wicked City team plays home matches at the Cotillion Ballroom. Look for the team's schedule on Facebook. What do the current prototypes for battery-powered aircraft and a humble caterpillar have in common? Well, you could say they're both stuck in the pre-flight stage, promising but not quite ready for the sky. One is waiting on technology, the other is waiting on nature. In this week's Kansas Wild Edge Report, Mike Blair shows us the amazing metamorphosis of some of Kansas's most gentle and beautiful creatures.
Butterflies and moths, some of our gentlest and most colorful wild species in Kansas. Everyone is familiar with them, but fewer understand the amazing life cycle involved. It's a complex process called metamorphosis that involves more than a month to complete. And maybe the most important part is the caterpillar stage. Caterpillars begin with eggs. Mated butterflies lay eggs either singly or in large groups on certain food plants needed by each species. The eggs are glued onto plant leaves where the tiny hatchlings gain immediate access to food. It usually takes the eggs about 3 to 5 days to hatch. The caterpillars chew out of their eggs and eat the eggshells to start their lives. Then, with minor differences depending on species, they become eating machines on their chosen plants. The caterpillar's job is to store huge amounts of energy for its final flighted form. This takes several weeks and increases its body mass an astonishing amount, up to 2,000 times larger than when it started out. It eats constantly and sheds its skin 5 or 6 times to allow such large growth. Caterpillars are unique to their individual species. Some are smooth. Some are hairy. Some are bristly or even knobbed. Some can sting, but most are harmless. Many are colorful, though some are not. Either way, when full-sized, they may leave their food plant and wander, or they may pupate right where they started. Moth caterpillars often go to ground, even digging into the soil to form a pupal case. Butterfly caterpillars create a button of silk from which to hang. They form a hanging J before splitting their skin a final time to reveal a chrysalis. Then they rest for more than a week while their bodies turn to liquid and completely restructure into a beautiful flying creature. At the end, they emerge from these cocoons to finish their lives. Some moths never feed, living only a few days to mate and lay eggs. Others, especially butterflies, live for weeks to deposit hundreds or even thousands of eggs. They feed on the nectar of flowers while completing this important work. And a few species, like painted lady or monarch butterflies, actually migrate south for hundreds or even thousands of miles. The caterpillar journey is one of nature's greatest shows, and all who study it will find never-ending discoveries. I'm Mike Blair for Positively Kansas.
Well, that's a wrap for this week. Now that federal funding has been taken away and our PBS Kansas budget dramatically cut, we need to decide which programs to keep and which ones to cancel. If you'd like to see Positively Kansas remain on the air, you can go to kpts.org and make a $100 donation to help keep this show funded. I am doing my part by hosting the show for free. As a thank you, your name will soon appear at the start and end of the show each week as a valued supporter. I'm Sierra Scott. Have a positively wonderful day.